smell that?
What's that smell?
It smells like bitch in here.
What's that smelly smell? All right, Major. Today you are a research guru.
Mm-hmm.
You're the research man. I hope you understand that.
You're the idiot that left your computer at campus.
I did. I thought I could go in between the job that we went to this morning and then campus and then my other job, but it just didn't end up working out that way. So I am without my computer, and that's okay. We don't need two people searching up stuff at the same time, but we'll make it work. We'll make it all work.
Anything interesting happened today?
No, nothing at all. It was a very boring day, in fact. Just kidding. I mean, like, whenever we went to that job this morning, we touched base with that guy who haven't been there in a while. It was nice to go back and kind of finish what we had started in terms of service, getting that taken care of. He's an interesting guy. He's cool. Anyways, but no, I mean, just pretty straightforward. I don't know what we're doing tonight. I know that some guys wanted to get down, go do something, go to Abel's or something. I don't know, but we'll see. Whatever we end up doing. But today, I don't really have much going on after this. This is one of my more chilled days of the week, or Wednesdays.
Let's say you're going to live to be 100 years old. Would you rather live to 100 or live to 50 and then start going backwards? Like your age starts going backwards.
Like Benjamin Button type deal?
Is that what's that?
You ever seen The Curious Case of Benjamin Button?
I've heard of it a million times.
It's a Brad Pitt movie. David Fincher directs it, and basically he's born a baby, but he has old features. Like he's an old person, but he's a baby. And as he gets technically older, he starts
Getting younger.
Getting younger. And so basically whenever he gets super old, he's basically a baby, like a little kid. And so his mental capacity depreciates, and it's an interesting movie, but yeah, that question. I would say live until 50 and then start aging backwards.
That'd be kind of cool.
I feel like, yeah, it would be cool.
But there would be a good, 20, 25 years that are just kind of wasted. You're just, kid.
Well, I mean, if you were 75 years old and you were 25, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. But you're 80 and you're 10 years old. Or
20.
You're 90 and you're 10 years old, I mean.
There's not much of a difference sometimes.
It's fucked up, dude.
No, it's not. I mean,
they know more than a 10-year-old.
Yeah. But also you're 10 years old. You do whatever the heck you want. No responsibilities. Maybe that's a selfish decision. Because then if you have kids, it's like, yep, there goes dad, I guess.
That's funny. We got our bear fact today. There's a bear called the sun bear.
Sunbear.
It is native to Southeast Asia. They're the smallest bear.
I thought black bears were.
No. I mean, well, they're bears. They're all bears, but these bears only, on their back feet only get to 70 centimeters tall. So, few feet.
Gotcha.
And they weigh 25 to 65 kilograms. So they can get to the size of, a regular black bear, but...
Yeah, they don't sound very big. What?
They all have that little...
Oh, yeah. They have, a little
blonde
collar.
Yeah.
A little blonde chunk in the middle of their chest, their sternum.
Yeah, it's like a little necklace thingy.
That's cool. Yeah, check out sun bears.
They also have really long tongues.
I thought black bears did too.
They're probably a relative of the black bear.
Well, they're black with a gold chain. That's a funny picture. Okay, sun bears are cool. I like that. I was talking earlier to to Mom, and she had like a really interesting thought. It's kind of dark, but like she's like, if you don't have kids, that's okay. Like it's really okay if you don't have kids. I'm like, what? Why? And she goes, well, maybe not in your lifetime, but maybe your kids or your kids' lifetime. It's gonna be
an ugly place.
It's gonna be one giant crap hole to live in, most likely. I mean, at the rate that we're going, it looks to be that way. Nothing will ever be the same again.
Yeah.
I mean, like life wasn't what it was like 40 years ago, and life 40 years from now will never be like what it was today.
Yeah.
It just keeps. I feel like we just keep going backwards.
Technology's advancing, and humans are going backwards.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. So, manager, don't be upset if you don't have kids. It's not your fault. It's not because there was no girls that liked you. It's their fault. It's their fault that they didn't like you. And that way you can just blame them and say, you know what? I didn't want kids anyways. And there you go. Now you get to live the rest of your life without any responsibility.
That's an interesting perspective.
It's their fault.
It's their fault.
They didn't like you. It's on them.
It's all on them.
Now it's time to make some big moves. If we found out that there was an asteroid coming towards Earth and there was no way to stop it, like it was just coming, and it was going to destroy all life, there's no way.
Like Earth explodes. Basically.
Earth explodes. It's all over. And we find out that it's going to happen in 90 days. Actually, I'll take a step back. You find out from an alien. The alien tells you it's going to happen in 90 days. The world's not going to see it until it's 2 days away.
Yeah.
But you know it's going to happen in 90 days. What do?
I do everything I've ever wanted.
And what do? Kickflip?
Fuck yeah.
Crip walk?
Crip walk.
Crip walk and kickflip?
I'd spend the next 90 days crip walking, dog.
Just crip walking everywhere through grocery stores?
You motherfuckers don't even know.
That's what you would do? Just those two things? Everything you've ever wanted to do?
I mean, a lot of Trout, like, is this happening like tonight?
What do you mean?
Like, hypothetically, this happens tonight or something?
Hypothetically, an alien comes to you at 2 o'clock in the morning and says, hey, wake up. I got to tell you something. And I'm only telling you. What's your next move?
I can't tell anyone, or like, I can tell my friends. I could maybe get them to believe me, but if I go tweet that or go put it on Instagram or something, there's gonna be like 2 people that believe me. There's no way anyone believes me. Guys, I'm telling you right now, I saw an alien and he told me that the Earth's gonna get hit by an asteroid in exactly 90 days at 2 a.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
No one's gonna believe that.
So, then what do?
I make the people.
But even if you told like NASA, I was like, hey, can you shoot some lasers at this thing?
No, we're not capable of that.
Not happening. It's not possible.
I would tell the people that I love that need to know it. Guess what? We're gonna die, motherfuckers.
We all are.
Yeah, everyone's gonna die. So I'll just tell the people that matter.
So you could just like get all that stuff off your chest in the first day. Now you have 89 days to play Minecraft.
What do you mean I got 90 days to play Minecraft?
Well, you take that first day and you do a kickflip and you crip walk and you tell everyone that you love them. And then it's like, all right, well, we kind of did everything on my bucket list. And now it's just time to play Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, hey, David, get on GTA.
What would you do? I'd smoke a bunch of weed.
Oh, I bet you would. It's like, hey, plug. Hey,
I would go get a
like, hey, I'm good for it, man. Just like, give me.
I would go get a loan. That's what I would do.
You go get a
I'd
loan.
go get $1 million loan and say I'm starting a business and then go bull for 90 days.
You have no credit.
I will rob a bank.
Then you get incarcerated for the next 60 days. For the last 60 days.
I don't get cut.
You don't get caught.
I played enough GTA. I know how it goes.
You don't have Lester on your side, though. Who would be your Lester?
Me.
You'd be your own Lester?
I'd be my own Lester and I'd be my own Michael. You know who I'd also be? I'd be my own Trevor and Franklin.
Okay, well, good for you. What would I do? I'd probably just go to the beach.
For 90 days.
No, not for 90 days, but I think, all right, well, I'm going to take some pictures of the beach so I can look at them later. Spend like a day or two there, come back. Probably feels like I would just act like I didn't know it and I would just pretend like nothing ever changed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like having that knowledge and knowing that there's nothing you can do about it. I would live my life a little bit differently. Might be a little bit more, what's that word? I might have a little bit more of a sense of urgency to do some things, like what you described, but at the same time, if there's not much you can do. I would go to Six Flags. I would
call Shaq's agent line for 30 days straight. I would meet Shaq. I want to meet Shaq before I die.
You want to meet Shaq?
If I met Shaq, that would make my year. Honestly, that might make my decade.
It'd make your decade if you met Shaq.
If I just got to like fist bump or shake Shaq's hand and just have his massive hand consume me.
Consume your hand?
Because I have big hands, but I mean, he's fucking Shaq.
You have medium hands.
Yeah, you have fucking bare hands.
You know what y'all used to call me when I was younger?
Sausage fingers.
Yes, but there's also another one.
Oh.
I think it was mostly Ben. Ben and Nick sometimes they would call me ogre fingers. And I always thought it's because I cracked my knuckles. I thought my hands got like fat and long because I would crack my knuckles. But no, that's not the case.
That's funny.
Like, Brandt, that's why your fingers are so fat. It's because you crack your knuckles. It's like, I don't care. I can palm a basketball. Can you?
Damn, now we know how Kawhi Leonard has such big hands.
Just pops his knuckles all the time. I'm just if you popped your back all the time. You'd be so tall.
Stretch your skin out.
Stretch marks all over your body from just popping. What if that's the way it worked, though? Actually, the way to get longer, like be taller, have longer appendages was to crack your joints. And you have these massive knees and elbows and shoulders. This big old neck. Look like a giraffe.
Fuck that.
You'd be so good at basketball, though. I had a funny thought. Now, I can do this. Oh, it didn't work.
Pop your nose.
Right, you have a big nose, but then
I want to live in that world.
you want to live in that. I told you you'd want to. I don't want to say it, but
It would be dragging everywhere.
everyone would. Every guy would do it. If every guy knew that's how it worked, because you'd see it, like people would like pop their knuckles and they got their wrists and they got these big O hands. Like, okay, so it's been scientifically proven that if you pop your joints, it makes your bones longer and bigger.
Start popping that dick. Girls popping their pussy.
What? I don't think that's how that works.
Pop your boobs.
No,
Stick a needle in them.
no, that's not how that works. Good try though. You could pop your ribs and have some big old ribs. You'd be a great boxer.
I'll pop my tailbone and get a tail.
Pop your tailbone until you get a tail. Can you pop your tailbone?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
The foam roller.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Would you rather have hooves for feet or have
Hooves?
a really long tail?
Why would I want hooves for feet?
You probably run pretty fast.
I don't think you'd run any faster. I think I would disagree, actually. I think you'd run faster with toes and an arched foot.
Horses are faster than us.
Yeah, because they're bigger and they're quadrupeds and they've got massive muscles and they have way longer strides than us.
Sheep are faster than us.
I don't know. I don't think so. Look it up. What's a sheep's 40 time? I feel like sheep are pretty fast, but I don't think they're faster than us. And so, boom.
Go with goats.
Goats? You said sheep. But fine. How fast is a goat? Let me guess, way faster than us?
Yeah, I did not see that coming. A goat has an ability at a sprint to reach 50 miles an hour.
50 miles an hour?
But that's only for a sprint, like a short burst.
A goat can sprint 50 miles an hour.
But they can do 10 miles an hour for miles.
Wow. That's a
mountain goat, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's insane. Can you imagine just being out in the street and just seeing a goat fly by you going 50 miles an hour and runs into a car? That car will be messed up. You good? Did you change your shorts?
No, I just ruined them.
You ruined them?
When Chuck Norris gets in an elevator, the elevator presses the buttons.
Did you think of that?
Yeah.
Good for you. What's your dream job?
Chuck Norris.
No, actually.
I don't know. Work for myself. Be a business owner.
Be a business owner? What kind of business?
I don't know, but just like kind of milk capitalism as hard as I can.
Mm-hmm. Just be a business owner. That's kind of like the standard.
Yeah. I don't want to work for someone else.
Yeah. I respect it. You know, it's funny. I went over and saw Mimi yesterday, and she's like, "Oh, let me give you your birthday money." I was like, "Well, that's nice of you. My birthday was like almost 2 months ago." But she's like, "Well, here's what I can do." I called her on the phone. She goes, "I can give you money, or I can give you credit to Major's business that he was telling me about, and you can buy some clothes on Major's business." And I said, "Well, Mima, that sounds really nice, but I would say that the clothes that Major sells in his business aren't clothes that I think I would want to buy. That's just me."
Fuck you, dude.
Well, I'm just saying. Me personally, I'm good.
Okay, it's the same thing that you would wear from Nike, just without the.
I know, just without. Maybe there's some things like shorts, like basketball shorts would make sense. I don't care having branded basketball shorts that I could wear to work out in, or socks. Like I don't care about socks. But do you carry socks on your website?
It's kind of tough because it's kind of hard to find socks in multiple sizes and stuff.
Okay, so no socks.
I do have socks, but not our size socks.
So like no 14s. So it's like, okay, I'm good. I'll just take the money. That's okay.
If you could have a pet that wasn't an ordinary pet, what pet would you get?
Like an exotic animal?
It can be exotic. My answer is not exotic, but it's
a bear.
It's semi-exotic. Realistically,
I get a pig.
I'll get a raccoon.
You get a raccoon?
I've already decided whenever I move out, I'm going to get a raccoon.
A pet raccoon.
They're priced between $300 and $700. That's like if I wanted a really nice breed of dog, those run to $2,000.
We just got a really nice breed of raccoon.
Fuck yeah.
Imagine people started breeding raccoons. Well, actually, I feel
people do.
Yeah, people definitely breed raccoons. Like, yeah, this is the Chino mountain goat raccoon, and it doesn't shed, and it's super docile, and it loves to play fetch.
Oh my god! I get a raccoon. You get a pig. David said he wants a finger monkey.
What's a finger monkey?
They're the little tiny monkeys that literally like they wrap around your finger.
They're so small. Yeah.
And then I don't know.
They're so delicate.
Ben gets like a goat or something. I don't know.
No, what would Ben get if he wouldn't get it like a dog?
He would get a reptile or like an amphibian.
He gets something that would move a lot. I don't know.
I could see him getting a piddle.
I could, but also I couldn't.
Yeah. I could see him getting a cat. Cats are very self-sustainable.
Yeah. I can see him getting a cat. But I don't know that he actually would.
Yeah, he wouldn't like the hair.
You can get a breed of cat that doesn't shed.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
Just
I mean,
get a hairless cat.
Yeah, you get a hairless cat.
Just get a bald cat.
Get a bald cat. Do you make bald dogs?
I don't want to look up a hairless dog.
Have you seen a bald bear? Look up what a hairless bear looks like. You're gonna love it.
No, it's gonna look like a giant like mole.
You're gonna like it a lot. Are there pictures of hairless bears?
It's pretty scary.
I'm trying to describe what it looks like.
Okay.
Scrotum?
Scrotum for sure. Scrotum for sure. Do you want to see a hairless bear?
I've seen them before. I know what they look like. Yep. That's kind of what I would have thought.
It's funny you said scrotum.
Well, that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of a hairless cat. I don't understand people who get hairless cats. Like, I get if you're trying to adopt it and you're trying to give it a nice life and you find it at the shelter or something. But, man, are they an eyesore. They will stand out like nothing else in the room. I mean, you could have on Gordon Ramsay making food for you. You got a hairless cat on the table. Everyone just cannot take their eyes off a hairless cat. Just looks so menacing and gross. I'm not going to hate on people, though, that have hairless cats. That's fine. If you love your hairless cat, then cool. But just not for me. I'm good. I'll take a cat that has hair.
I want a raccoon so bad.
Hairless raccoon.
I don't even want to look it up.
You could find it.
I'm sure I could.
Look up a hairless raccoon.
No.
Do it.
No.
Why not?
Because I already like raccoons and I want to keep it that way.
You want to like them any less? Well, I mean, you still like bears, even though you just saw a hairless bear.
That's a horrific image. Hairless
raccoon. Yeah, do it.
A hairless bear came up. That's funny.
I bet they look pretty similar to bears.
Yeah. It's pretty much the same thing.
So how many kick flips did you do today?
Kick flips?
Yeah.
I can't kick flip.
Yeah, you can. I watched you do it.
No, you didn't.
Okay, maybe I didn't.
I wish.
How long do you think it'd take you to be able to do a kick flip?
I don't practice it every time. Right now, I'm just working on comfortability on the board. Just because the speed wobble thing that I told you about when I was going down the hill, that really it expanded my comfort zone, but fuck that, never doing that again. I'm just kind of trying to expand my comfort zone and get more comfortable like being in the air and moving and landing on the board.
That speed wobble comment reminds me of something I was thinking about earlier today, which was the diesel truck death wobble. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, I experienced it one time in Dad's truck.
So look it up real quick. I want to know like how it works or what the facts are behind it, because I know that if you go fast enough in a full-ton truck, that it'll just start shaking like big time. And I think we might have been going on a road trip somewhere. And I was doing like 75 or 80 in a big truck and kind of got to that point where it's starting to wobble a little bit. Why does it say why that happens? Because for anyone who doesn't know, it does happen. Like the whole truck will just start shaking.
Like, yeah, I experienced it one time. I was on the road, and dude, it was kind of scary but exhilarating at the same time.
Like hydroplaning?
Hydroplaning's a little more scary, honestly, because you don't know where you're going. You don't know when you're going to catch traction again. With the death wobble, it's like a 20, 30-second period of just the entire truck is on rapid fire.
It's just like the front and the back end are just like...
Yeah, twisting back and forth like opposites.
Yeah.
And, oh my God, it's hard to keep straight on the steering wheel because the steering wheel is moving so much.
Does it say why it happens?
Caused by a defect linked to abnormal wear or loosening of the track bar bushing, damper bracket, ball joints, control arms, shocks, or struts.
Huh. So I guess it doesn't happen in newer trucks. It's just with worn, experienced trucks, which I guess kind of makes sense. I guess they wouldn't manufacture trucks that have this imminent defect where they start wobbling at high speeds.
No one's ever been reportedly killed from it.
Oh, really? It's just scary.
Very scary.
I feel like even in a death wobble, it's not that hard to steer. Like it'll go back and forth, but then it just auto-corrects itself back and forth over and over and over again. Who's your idol?
You've asked me this.
No, I haven't. I've asked Kurt this. We know who Kurt's idol is.
Alex Jones.
No one can hear you. Say his name into the mic. Do it. Give him the recognition he deserves. He demands it of you. He'll chase you down the street.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, that's Kurt's idol. Who's your idol? Who's your biggest
Will Smith.
He's your biggest role model?
Probably not. I don't know. Who's yours?
Me, obviously. I'm a role model for myself every day.
My role model is me 10 years from now, doing cocaine in the bathroom of a Denny's.
I thought you were going to say Red Lobster. Not a bad guy. I go party with that guy. I think I watched a video recently of one of Matthew McConaughey's speeches talking about how, I guess you've seen the same one, right? Where he's like, your role model is always you in 10 years, and you'll never be you in 10 years.
Yeah.
You're always just trying to chase that person.
If you try to be better than yourself than you will be in 10 years every day, you will be a machine.
The machine.
The machine.
That's a good way of looking at it. Did you have a good day?
You had a good day.
Good. How's crawling around in the attic in the snow?
It was fun. Making snow angels and snowmen.
That was the first time I think I've seen that type of insulation. It was just like really light and powdery. It just looks like someone went up there with a vacuum cleaner and put it in the blow option, just shot it all over the attic.
Mm-hmm.
It's just light and fluffy and little chunks, like little bits like snow. We tracked it all over his house. It was nice.
Yeah.
It got everywhere. But honestly, it wasn't that itchy. Did you?
Uh-uh.
You didn't feel the itchies? Yeah. It's kind of like that sheep's wool-ish type insulation that I really don't care for. Because it's so thick, and that kind definitely makes you itchy.
Yeah. Makes you big itch.
Yeah. I think we looked it up before why insulation makes you itchy. It has to do with like the chemicals or like I know that we've looked it up before. I guess I can't remember why it makes you itchy. Maybe it's like because it's so fine, it like creates like micro tears on your skin.
Dude, one of the things I said, why does insulation? One of the things said smell like fish.
Does it smell like fish?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it does. What does it say? I am curious. I want to know. Because I thought I knew at one point, but I guess I don't. Are you watching a video?
No.
Dang, how long do you have to read till you figure out why insulation makes you itchy?
It's just a bunch of fiberglass.
That's what I was thinking. It's like, I guess, sharp, very small pieces of material that like scratch your skin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because, yeah, we definitely looked it up before. I figured as much. Would you rather be an actor or a singer?
Do I pick genres?
You have to be an R&B singer, and you can only act in sci-fi movies.
R&B.
You're going to be the next R. Kelly.
What is that supposed to mean?
R. Kelly was a fantastic R&B artist.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, he made lots of really great songs.
He did do that. He did other things too.
I'm just saying, you'll be the next R. Kelly, making lots of good music.
I'll be the next Chris Brown. Or Drake.
Drake doesn't really do R&B.
I typed in...
Actually, no, he kind of does, but
I
not
typed
really.
in R&B to Google, and he's the first artist that pops up.
Drake?
Yeah.
Really?
But it's just because of how big Drake is. Drake breaks records every time he drops an album. Like, he dropped Certified Lover Boy, and 9 of the top 10 songs on Billboards were Certified Lover Boy.
And then Kanye
Got smacked.
overshadowed.
Way overshadowed.
But I feel like everyone knew that was going to happen.
Donda was not it.
Donda was okay. There was like 2-ish good songs on there.
The first song, though, the Donda chant.
It's awesome. I love that song.
That went hard.
That's a good song. But I heard some kind of rumor that the Donda chant, have you heard this? That it's actually his mom's heartbeat before she died.
Damn.
Look that up, because I know it was just a rumor. Or that's just what people were telling me. Like, yeah, that's totally real. It's what it's about. Like, Donald Chan is just his mom's heartbeat. But I don't know if it's actually true. I didn't even bother to look it up. I was just like, you know what? Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's my fault. I should have looked it up before I started saying something about it. Did you look it up?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. I see the articles that say that, but nothing is like fact checked. There's just a bunch of articles about it. There's nothing.
They're like, it could be.
Yeah. What does Donda mean in English?
But I mean, like, you listen to the Donda chant and you're like, that sounds like a heartbeat. It could be a heartbeat. So I guess it's his mom's heartbeat. I mean, how do you make that connection? If there's no record of what her heartbeat actually was.
Because people need clicks on their articles.
That they do. So I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say it's just kind of fake news. Until Kanye is like, yeah, y'all all right. Y'all figured it out.
That was the Easter egg of the whole album.
It was the big Easter egg. Y'all figured it out. You ever figure out an Easter egg like actually on an album? On your own?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Yeah, there's some in there. It doesn't matter in a lot of cases which artist you're listening to. They all kind of put their own Easter eggs in there.
Yeah.
I feel like Kanye would definitely do something like that. But you know, when his mom died, after his mom died, he kind of fell off.
Yeah.
So you could look up when she died. I think there was Heartbreaks. Is it 808s? I think it's 808s. That was his last, like, really, no, what was it?
Heartbreak was like 10 years ago.
No, Dark Twisted Fantasy was 10 years ago. That was 2011, I think, or 2010. And Heartbreaks was 09, I want to say.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, that was more than 10 years ago. I keep forgetting that time goes on, and 10 years ago isn't 2008.
Yeah. It's not 2006. I remember when it was 2009.
10 years ago was 2011. That's so crazy to think about.
10 years ago. It's flying by, man. What are you going to do? Astros going to hit Earth in 90 days, and you've got what?
38 episodes on a podcast.
Hell yeah. Excuse you. No, don't do that. Easy. You got anything exciting going on? No?
Not particularly. Pokemon comes out in
Okay.
a month.
Pokemon. I guess you're excited for that.
Are you going to get it?
Maybe. Probably not, though. At least for now. I don't know.
I don't know when it's coming out. I'm looking at that right now. It comes out November 19th.
Yeah, I just haven't had a whole lot of time for stuff like that. But I will say, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, probably a bad thing. My roommate Ryan, he has an Xbox that we'll kind of just like mutually use. Like it's just a communal Xbox that we can just kind of like play whenever, whether we're
Did
playing.
you mention this to me?
Playing zombies or PGA Rory McIlroy golf or whatever. I was scrolling through some of the games that Ryan owns, and one of the games that he owns is MLB The Show 21. And so the other day I was like, you know what? I just want to see. So I downloaded it.
How many games did you have to delete?
I started playing a little bit. Someone took the liberty of deleting Red Dead 2 off of his Xbox. I don't know how he feels about that. And
someone took the liberty.
somebody took the liberty. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus, but someone did. And something else too. I think like in Madden 20, even though he has Madden 21. So, and so playing a little bit of MLB The Show. Like I said, I like it too much. I got to stop playing it. I got to stop doing it. Well, to be fair, I usually do it in the evenings, like right before I go to bed. I'll just like play a little bit of the show. It's like, yeah, I remember when I used to be really good at this game. Played it way too much in Kansas. Because there really wasn't that much to do in Kansas. I mean, outside of when I was playing baseball and doing school, there's really, I mean, people would throw parties, but also it's a small school in a small town. There usually wasn't a whole lot going on. So if you weren't practicing, you weren't at a tournament, you weren't at a game, and you weren't doing homework, or you weren't in class, there was, I mean, not a whole lot else to do. So everyone usually just played video games. That's right when Fortnite got big in the fall of 17, in the spring of 18. And
Yeah.
I played a lot of the show. Man, I played that game way too much. Way, way, way too much. But again, can you blame me? I don't know. It was fun. I mean,
Yeah, I can. I'm putting all the blame on you, dude.
yeah, I am too. That's okay. I enjoyed myself, mostly. I remember when I was watching the World Series in the fall of 17, I would get it out, I would plug my computer into the TV and watch the game and drink chocolate milk. Because I didn't have a roommate. Because my roommate, he like left for a month or something. I was living in a 4-bedroom apartment right next to campus. But it was just only me and him. And you're supposed to have 2 bedrooms or 2 beds in each bedroom, so you'd share a room with someone. It was just 2 of us. We both got our own bedrooms, which was nice. And like throughout October and November, he would just leave for like weeks at a time. So it was just me there. So I go to practice and I go to games, and I just go back to my apartment and I'd just be there by myself. There wasn't really a whole lot going on. So I'd like watch baseball, play more baseball. I guess I couldn't get enough of it. That's one of the things I do miss about being in Kansas, or just being a student athlete, was the baseball aspect of it. But I will say 24, 25 hours a week on the practice field, not including games, is kind of draining.
On top of school.
Yeah. But school, I'm not going to crap on it, but it wasn't that hard. Especially not compared at all to what I'm doing now. I mean, it's not even close. But because let's say, like in a typical week, we would have, let's just say I picked one class, and I would go to that class twice a week. We would have a homework assignment in between classes, maybe. And if we did, it would take like 15 minutes to do it, and it wasn't like critical thinking skills apply. I mean, it was just kind of straightforward, fill in the blank, look at the textbook, fill in the answers, and then now you're done. And then you've got like 4 hours left in the day to do whatever you want to do. You've taken care of all of your obligations.
Yeah.
So
that's a lot of what high school was.
Yeah, it depends how hard you wanted high school to be, and where you went to high school. But yeah, I would say for most people in the United States who went to high school, that's exactly what it's like. And then now what I'm doing is a little different.
Yeah. Plumbing engineering is crazy.
Plumbing engineering, yeah. That's what's funny is in Kansas, you know what it looks like. It's just cornfields everywhere and lots of farmland. At least in
nothing.
Just west Kansas, southwest Kansas. The engineering school at the community college was the John Deere School of Engineering. I'm not even kidding.
That's awesome.
Or no, it was the John Deere School of Agriculture.
That's epic.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do ag, you would go to the John Deere School.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's what my roommate was doing.
I got taught by John Deere himself.
You remember what my first roommate's name was? Did you ever meet him?
I don't think I ever met him.
His name was Storm.
Storm. I remember Storm.
Storm. He was an interesting fella. I liked him. He was nice. I've never, like I said before, I've never had one of those crazy roommate stories before where just, things go down and there's all kinds of drama. At least not what some of your friends have experienced with their roommates.
I haven't had a roommate yet, but I have heard some roommate stories, and it's awesome. I love hearing them.
You love hearing the stories?
Because whenever I move out, I know who I'm moving in with already. I'm going to move in with my best friend, so I don't think we're going to have any problems like that.
We've already voiced like how much you hate him in so many aspects.
Yeah, dude, he's so annoying.
No, seriously. At least off air, you've told me how much you've hated him.
Dude, he's easily the worst person I know.
Well, that's not even close to what you told me. You remember what you said? Like literally an hour ago. Right before we started, we were talking about, I don't know, what was it? Something about security, and he acts like he knows everything. And he bosses you around, telling you what to do, and you're like, gosh, I hate him so much. Remember that? You told me about that.
Not today.
Earlier today, you're going in.
What are you talking about? I have said that before, but not today. He doesn't boss me around, but man,
see, there's something there.
When he talks about stuff, man, he knows everything.
Well, so do you.
Not all the time.
At least you're willing to admit it. I guess that's the point, huh? It's okay to be wrong. Like, you should have come with me to my second service call today. You know what I had to do?
You were wrong. That's what happened.
I wasn't wrong. I was guessing. Because there wasn't really anything I could do to fix. because they say there was a problem with the front door, and I look at the keypad, it was a Qualis, and it's closed. And then I open the door, it chimes, closes, and then it chimes. I'm like, okay, obviously there's nothing wrong here. But then again, you wouldn't have called it in and asked for someone to come out if there wasn't something that happens sometimes frequently.
Yeah.
So then I deduced that the wire was good, communication was good. So I just replaced the switch. Maybe you get stuck sometimes. I don't know. You just have to guess. Just have to go for it. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and then I'll have to go back and reevaluate. But it's okay to be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wrong a lot.
Success doesn't matter about what you have and what you've done. It's about what you do when you fail.
All right, let's go ahead and end the podcast now.
I mean, okay.
We could just end on that. Are you coining that as your own, or did you hear that from somewhere?
I heard that somewhere.
Okay.
But it didn't say it just like that.
Okay.
Do you want to hear it how I heard it?
Yeah, say it how you heard it.
I don't remember it.
You don't remember, you just paraphrased.
Yeah. But what I paraphrase is how it is. Or like
how it was said.
Yeah, how it was said.
That's also an important thing you have to do, is give credit. So when you say something...
I remember who said it. It was Chris Bosh. When he was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, he was telling a story about Kobe. I'm not going to tell the whole story.
He's telling us about Kobe, and that was part of his induction speech.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that he got inducted to the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Chris Bosh?
I thought he played forever, and he had, 2 rings?
2 rings.
I guess it's worthy of being in the Hall of Fame. I wonder how many guys in Major League Baseball who have 2 World Series rings who are not in the Hall of Fame. Because I feel like if all...
Baseball's different. I don't know.
I was going to say, of all the Hall of Fames that exist in all of sports, I feel like Major League Baseball is by far the hardest one to get into.
Yeah, that is a very big accolade.
I mean, I'm not crapping on other sports and saying that their Hall of Fame isn't as prestigious, but the vetting process for someone who gets in the Hall of Fame versus someone who doesn't, I feel like it's so much harder.
Whenever Derek Jeter got inducted into the Hall of Fame, everyone voted him except for one person. And he said that in his speech. He was like, thank you to everyone who voted me, except one person. And everyone there busted out laughing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there's also never been a unanimous Hall of Famer in Major League Baseball. Derek Jeter I would have thought he would have been the first one. That would have made sense. I was like, yes, he's going to be the first unanimous first ballot Hall of Famer.
What do you mean unanimous?
Every single sports writer votes for him.
Oh.
But there was one sports writer who didn't. And that's kind of weird how baseball does it. The sports writers decide who goes in the Hall of Fame or not, and they vote accordingly. And the person before him who was closest previously was Ken Griffey Jr. And he was also in the same boat. He missed it by one vote. One person didn't vote for him.
Wow.
That's happened twice now. And they're the only two that have ever done it that way.
Who do you think is a current player that's Hall of Fame worthy?
Pujols.
For sure.
Kershaw.
For sure.
Scherzer.
For sure.
Verlander.
For sure.
You could make an argument for Mike Trout as it stands.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say if he can stay healthy, because I know he's been hurt for most of this year, if he can stay healthy and play somewhere around where he's usually been playing at a very high level, absolutely.
What about Bryce Harper?
Not yet. He's
got more time.
He's not there yet. He's not Mike Trout. He's not Mike Trout. Buster Posey.
Yep, I could see that. David Wright.
No. David Wright will not be. No. He was really good. I mean, he just didn't have a long enough career. His career wasn't substantial enough because he went on a tear for about 3 or 4 years. He was really good, but 3 or 4 years of being really good ain't enough.
Yeah,
it's not enough. Because in football it's different. You can go on a tear for 3 or 4 years in football, and you could probably get in the Hall of Fame.
Manny Machado.
Not quite there yet. Needs more time.
What about... honestly, half of the fucking Padres lineup is like that. Tatis, not there yet, but he could.
Yeah, he's his sophomore season.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
He's not there yet, but I mean, he's
Not even close.
He's balling.
Yeah, he's balling, but he's got a ball out for like the next 12 years in a row.
That is true. What about Juan Soto? You think he could do it?
If it just stays on track with how he's always been playing.
I hate him so much.
I hated him, and then now I'm starting to like him more.
He's really good. I get it, but he's
You just don't like the Soto shuffle.
He's annoying.
I just like...
You can make the Soto shuffle if you've been in the league for 12 years and you've been balling for 12 years. But if you're like, he brought it in as a rookie.
I don't know if he was a rookie, but he might have been.
Dude,
he was like 19.
Dude, if I was like Clayton Kershaw on
20.
the mound and this fucking 20-year-old is trying to intimidate me with his stupid ass shuffle
And then starts licking his chops.
Oh my God, I would throw the ball at his goddamn nose.
No, don't do that.
Wow.
There's a breakdown. I love John. You ever listen to John Boy Baseball?
I think so.
He does these breakdowns and they're so funny. I love watching them. They're usually about 2 to 3 to 4 minutes long and they're usually really good. I enjoy them. But here's a breakdown whenever he starts, when Juan Soto's doing the Soto shuffle in the World Series, he starts licking his chops. He's so excited for the next pitch that's coming. I mean, like, it's exciting. He's an exciting player. I mean, it's. I think he's good for the game. So I've got nothing against him. I am indifferent when it comes to Juan Soto. He's a great player. We'll see what he brings to the game. But then other Hall of Famers, I mean, it depends. You could make an argument for Brandon Crawford, maybe. Shortstop for the...
DJ LeMahieu.
Not enough time. Nolan Arenado is on track there.
CC Sabathia.
Yes. He will go to the Hall of Fame. He won't, I don't know if he'll be a first ballot. He will definitely not be unanimous. But I would say...
David Ortiz.
Is he not already in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I mean, he's only... I guess we'll see.
I think he retired...
It has to be like, what, 7 years?
Yeah, I think it's 7 years since he retired, because Jeter retired in 2014. That was his farewell tour. I think Ortiz retired in 2015?
16.
16, yeah. So Ortiz isn't there. I would say yes. David Ortiz will be in the Hall of Fame.
Ryan Howard?
No. He had like 3 or 4 really good seasons, but that's not enough. That's just how baseball works.
Yeah. What's his face?
Chase Utley.
Yeah.
I would say, what is it? If you don't, you have like 10 chances to get in. So that you're on the ballot for 10 years consecutively after you have been retired for 7 years. If you don't get it by the 10th year, then you can't be on the ballot anymore. So you can't be. So after 10 years of being on the ballot, if you didn't get in, then you're not getting in ever again for the rest of your life.
Wow.
I would say Chase Utley, maybe. He's going to be one of those guys like, who am I thinking of? I think Keith Hernandez, or Ivan Hernandez, not Ivan Hernandez, but
Kiki.
Not Kike, no. But anyways, there was a guy who was really good in the 90s who played for the Mariners. I mean, who was amazing, super good, fantastic hitter, but he mostly played DH. And that was the problem that the sports writers had, is because he didn't really play a position, because you can't put him in the Hall of Fame as a DH. There's never been a Hall of Famer who's just been a DH. Mm-hmm. So they've always played a position. So Griffey would have played the outfield. Roberto Clemente would have played the outfield. And whoever else. I mean, and I think he got in. I think on his last attempt, the last year, he got in.
Do you think Ichiro? I think Ichiro does.
I think he does too.
Dustin Pedroia.
Fringe. I would say maybe.
A-Rod.
I'm going to say no because of steroids thing.
Yeah, I was going to say that too, because he does have that black ball.
Yeah,
black
he's got a very big black mark, and the sports writers are not going to be friendly with him because of that. And it's just old dudes. It's just old traditional dudes that write about baseball, and baseball's their life. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they just love the game of baseball and they just write about it and they can't get enough of it. And they're very traditional, pastime-esque view of the game. Has no place for steroids, even if you're even accused of it.
Yeah. Nelson Cruz. He's had multiple
Yeah,
steroids.
but I think he was also part of the steroid bust too. I think
he's had multiple steroid busts.
Yeah. So I would say no. For that, no. If there wasn't the steroid thing, maybe, but still not quite.
Alex Hamilton.
Alex Hamilton? David Hamilton? Who's Alex Hamilton? Are you looking at potential Hall of Famers on your computer?
No.
Who's Alex Hamilton? You know David Hamilton, he played for the Rangers and he played in the outfield?
Okay. I had David Hamilton and Alexander Hamilton mixed up.
Oh. David Hamilton? No.
Yeah, he had that cocaine thing.
Not the cocaine thing, but just, yeah, he was really good. I mean, for about 8 years, really, really fantastical player. But I don't think the numbers are there. I don't think he played for long enough. I think he retired early just because he had to take a break from baseball. But no, I don't think David Hamilton makes it. I'm trying to think of other current players that could be.
David Hamilton that played for UT plays for the Brewers.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a shortstop. Really good. Got a great glove. Really fast. Yeah, he got drafted a year ago. Other current players that could go to the Hall of Fame as it stands.
Dude, I cannot find David Hamilton.
I would say John Lester, maybe. I would say John Lester, maybe because he was part of the World Series Cubs team that eventually won. He played for the Red Sox for a long time. He's been pretty good.
Chris Bryant.
Not long enough. I mean, if he retired today, he wouldn't get in. When I say not long enough, that's usually what I mean.
I know.
Yeah, they haven't played long enough. It's just kind of crazy. That's how baseball works. Jeter played for 23 years or something like that. 24 years.
Are you sure his name is David Hamilton that played for the Rangers?
Yes.
I cannot find David Hamilton anywhere.
Oh, I'm so stupid. Josh Hamilton.
That is it.
Josh Hamilton. Okay. Yes. I would say Josh Hamilton. No. And I don't know how long he's been retired for, but I think around 15 or 16 is when he retired. What?
I'm just looking at his.
I could say that Kenley Jansen, closing pitcher, maybe. Very possible.
He had 1,100 hits.
Josh Hamilton?
Yeah, he retired in 14.
Yeah, he's not going to get in.
Ian Kinsler.
No. I don't think he played for long enough.
Tim Lincecum.
No. Even with 3 World Series? Not enough. At least 2 World Series. But 3, maybe. Like he might have 3, but even then, he was, like I said, he was really good for like 4 or 5 years.
Ryan Braun.
Steroids.
Really?
He got busted for that, yeah. I just had it in my head. Miguel Cabrera, yes.
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera gets in.
Prince Fielder.
No.
Really?
Prince Fielder does not get in.
You don't think he gets in?
No.
I think Prince Fielder might get in.
I would say, once again, he was one of those guys that was really good for like 5-ish years.
Adrian Beltre.
Yes. First ballot. And same thing with Miguel Cabrera, first ballot.
Yeah, Miguel Cabrera.
Pujols, first ballot.
The same thing, Miguel Cabrera and Adrian Beltre, they're both those two guys that are just everyone likes. There's no one that dislikes them.
Well, no one dislikes them. They're fun on the baseball field. They're probably the two.
Elvis Andrus.
Not long enough. I don't know if he's good enough. if you could say. Because I don't know that he's posted more than a couple seasons above hitting 300.
Joe Mauer.
How long did he play for? My gut reaction is no.
I mean, he averaged, let's see, he went from 14 to 18, so 14 years. He averaged 300.
04 to 18, you mean?
Yeah. Is that, I don't know how to say that.
You said 14 to 18.
Oh.
04 to 18, he played for 14 years. How many hits did he have?
2,100. His best season, he hit 365.
I want to say no. You won't get in.
He had 143 home runs. There's a season where he only had 3.
I want to say usually the cutoff, if you're going to get into the Hall of Fame, is around 2,500 hits. If you get to 2,500 hits or above, your odds of getting to the Hall of Fame are going up substantially.
I haven't heard this name in a long time. Mike Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira.
Did I say Mike?
Yeah, you said Mike. Mark Teixeira. Maybe. I would say if he gets in, it'll be like the 9th or the 10th round of elections.
Jose Bautista.
Maybe.
Dude, he
maybe.
He retired in 18. He played for the Braves, Mets, and Phillies in 18.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's probably something going on. No one wanted him.
When did he start playing?
04. He started with the Orioles.
So him and Prince Fielder played for the same length. Same period of time.
Dude, he played for the Orioles, Jesus Christ.
He played for a lot of teams. I know Jose Bautista did. But obviously he played for the Blue Jays for most of his career.
Yeah, dude. Orioles, Royals, Pirates, Rays, Blue Jays, Braves, Mets, Phillies. He has so many jerseys.
He's got a lot of jerseys. All with his name on them.
You think Michael Jordan makes the Hall of Fame?
In baseball, no. No, he does not. Basketball, he's already in it.
I know. Who's that guy that plays Javier Baez?
Javier Baez. If he stayed on track the way that he's playing right now, and he plays for another 10 years, 11 years, I would say no.
No?
I would still say no. I just don't think he's playing well enough. I don't even think he's hitting 250. And he's a fantastical fielder. But Aussie Smith was also an amazing shortstop, but also Aussie Smith could hit 300. And hitting 250 is league average.
Okay, what about me?
See if you can hit a baseball moving at 97 miles an hour, and then we can talk about it.
I think I could.
So, Aussie Smith, obviously in the Hall of Fame. What I said the cutoff was, 2,500. He had 2,460 hits. Now, his career batting average was 262, which isn't great. It's okay. It's above average. But if you look at a player's WAR, it'll tell you so much about how valuable they are to a team and how good they are, what a difference they make for being there as opposed to
what's a
Joe Smith. Wins above replacement. So how many wins do you create for your team because you were there and not someone else, either through a season or the whole career? And right now, the owner of the WAR statistic, you know who that is? Still playing right now, who completely owns it. And honestly, you can look at WAR and say that's probably one of the more valuable statistics in determining if a player is valuable or worthwhile. Mike Trout. Yeah. Mike Trout kills the WAR stat. It's not even close. I mean, if Mike Trout comes back, and he will soon, or if he's not back already, he will, and he stays healthy, I think he will have the highest WAR of any player that's ever played. I mean, he's not that old. I think he's 29. He might be 30. If he can play solidly for another 6 years or so, solid baseball, he would. I think he has a chance to be the first unanimous first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Of any player that's still playing right now. If anyone who has a chance in sometime in the next decade.
He's 30. He started in 11.
Yeah, he's 30. He's already been playing for 10 years.
He's got 1,500 hits.
1,500? So at that rate, if he plays for another 10 years, he might have 3,000, but probably not.
He has 1,500 hits and 4,500 ABs. So he's hitting 300.
Career 300 is pretty special. But yeah, Mike Trout is really, really good. Anyways, I guess we can wrap this segment up about baseball. I know I could go on all day about it. You know what we should do? We should have Patty on and just talk about baseball.
We could.
That would be amazing.
Tell him to memorize all the World Series wins.
He already does. He already knows them all. He knows the scores. He knows what who won in 1956 and what the series was at. He knows who pitched in Game 6. He knows who walked off in Game 2. Okay, then what about 1971? He knows that too.
Wizard.
He is a whiz. It's like, well, what about 1968? He knows that one.
John Carlos 10.
He's not there yet. Could he? If he has like this back end of his career, he just takes off and he starts doing amazing, and there's no allegations of him doing anything stupid, steroids included, I would say he's got a pretty good chance. But as it stands right now, if he's hitting the way he is, striking out a bunch, hitting somewhere around league average, maybe a little bit above it, hitting a modest amount of home runs, probably not. But then someone like Shohei or Vlad Jr., those guys are going to be good.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we can wrap this up.
It's been a good one.
It's been fantastical. We should talk more baseball. But I don't know if everyone wants to listen to us talk about baseball.
Yeah, a lot of people say that baseball is the most boring sport. But honestly, baseball is the most boring sport. It takes a lot of focus, and you have to be looking for a lot of things to watch it.
If you played the sport, it makes more sense.
Exactly.